Congratulating Ugandans upon the successful holding of the two summits which were held concurrently, and that is the non-aligned movement, the NAM conference, as well as the third South Summit, or the G77 plus China Summit. And I want to thank you, members of the press, because we work together to communicate to the wider public, not only Ugandans, but the entire world. And I want to thank you and appreciate the role that you played, and also thank all Ugandans, both those who were directly involved in the preparations and running of the conferences, but also everybody was contributing in one way or the other, including showing hospitality and presenting Uganda as a hospitable country and as a welcoming country. And I can assure you the feedback that we continue to get from the delegates and all those who participated in the conferences. We went back with a very positive image of the country. And therefore I salute Ugandans, I congratulate the President and the entire government and the National Organizing Committee for a job well done, because the conference went successful, and the credit goes to all of us who participated. And as you know, Uganda has now assumed the chairmanship of both NAM for the next 3 years and the G77 plus China for the next 1 year. And in the history of these organizations, it is the first time a country takes over the leadership of both organizations at the same time. And therefore, in the coming years, Uganda is going to continue to shine and be able to influence a lot of decisions on the global stage. And therefore, all of us as Ugandans, we should feel proud that we have that diplomatic recognition of being able to lead these two organizations. There are friends of ours in the opposition who thought that they would make political capital out of these meetings by organizing demonstrations that they want to plant banana trees in the potholes. They are, like we've been saying, there are times when we should have that sense of patriotism, because like we kept communicating, these conferences were not necessarily conferences for NRM or arranged on the basis of our political parties. These were events for the country. For once, they should have showed a patriotic stance that there are things which should unite us as a country, but just trying to play cheap politics by going into those issues. I want to thank Ugandans, because Ugandans by and large ignored them. They were ignored, and they thought they would disrupt what was going on, and maybe the attention goes to their demonstrations, but they just died in their own film, because nobody was bothered about that kind of demonstration, because we all know there is a plan to work on the roads in Kampala and other cities. There is a plan to continue tarmacking roads in this country. Actually, if you bother to read, the World Bank recently wrote a report that ranks Uganda among the top countries with a very good road network. because from corner to corner, whichever direction you take in this country, there are tarmac roads, very good tarmac roads. Actually, majority of the roads in the countryside are much better than what we see in Kampala. And therefore, for you to start a campaign to say that the roads in Uganda are bad, when reports that are written by the international community are saying otherwise, you just make a fool of yourself. You make a fool of yourself because the roads are there. The ones in Kampala, yes, they could have gone bad in parts of Kampala, but there is a plan to repair them, and indeed, implementation has already started. The construction works are ongoing, and we also secured money to the tune of up to 2 trillion shillings to work on the Kampala and the greater metropolitan area to fix the roads. So when you start demonstrating because they are visitors and you think you'll get attention, it's good. Even you, the media, ignored them, and Ugandans ignored them. Times when we should know such an event or such an activity is good for Uganda, regardless of our political affiliations. So we don't have to be politicking all the time, even when it is not necessary. But the conferences went well, and the delegates went with very positive perceptions and appreciation of Uganda. So I wanted to make that first point to appreciate all Ugandans for having enabled an environment where we held successful meetings of NAM and G77 plus China.